You know, if you guys look around your feeds and all that kind of stuff, you probably saw a lot of people writing about it on social media and some headlines saying Supergirl's budget, $100 million. dollars. And that would be something because that would be one of the lowest tentpole movie film budgets we've heard in a long time. And by the way, it's not really out of step with what we know about James Gunn and Peter Safran's DCU. As a matter of fact, from what we understand, the new Clayface movie coming out, it's got like what, a 40 or 60 billion or billion million dollar budget. They've kept that pretty low too, and all that kind of stuff. So I would not be shocked to find out that Supergirl, actually, as we see here in this article in Heroic Hollywood, Supergirl's report reveals shocking details about the DC Universe's movie budget. However, that's not exactly what's happening here, although it's not far off. We go down and see what they wrote. A new report reveals that the budget for Supergirl may not be as high as DC Universe's fans expect. In many ways, superhero franchises like the MCU and DC Universe have inflated the general audience's concept of budget. That's true. These are projects where $100 million seems outright frugal, and Superman was no exception. With Clayface set to be a lower budget film, fans expect that this trend to continue with Supergirl on and on. They writes, however, it seems as though DC Studios co-heads James Gunn and Peter Safran may be tightening their belts. A report from entertainment newsletter Puck, of course that's Matt Bellani's outlet, confirms that Supergirl's budget will be on the lower end of things. An exact number wasn't given, but given Clayface's report to have a $40 million budget, it's possible that the blockbuster is coming in below the 150 mark, although again, that exact number or even range wasn't confirmed in the article. All right, this is where this massive game online of broken telephone always seems to happen. So Puck reports it's going to be on the lower, the budget for Supergirl is going to be on the lower end. It never said $100 million. And what happened was a number of people so, whoa, it must be low. Well, it's lower than this. And then somebody says $100 million and it runs all over the place. Now, listen, keep this in mind. It could be $100 million. It could be. Doesn't say it's not. I doubt it, though. Like when you consider that Superman was just a tip north of 200 million, on the lower end of things could be 165 million, could be 150 million. What I do believe is that Puck is probably right, that it is going to be on the lower end. I don't think we're going to see a $185 million budget for Supergirl by any stretch of the imagination. But I also don't think it's going to be as low as 100 million. I don't think I believe that report, especially by looking at the trailer. Like the trailer didn't look like a $100 million movie. I don't think it looked like a $200 million movie, but I don't think it looked like a $100 million movie to me. I do think the movie's going to be great. I'm really excited about it. I'm looking forward to seeing it a lot. But yeah, I think it's probably going to, listen, James Gunn, he comes from a background of making films for $30. He comes from a background of making movies by digging through his couch and seeing what kind of pocket change he can come up with. That's his background. Has he played in the giant blockbuster budgets? Obviously he has. But I think he's mentioned before that they are going to try to be fiscally responsible with the films they make. So I totally see Supergirl being like 150 million, maybe even a little bit less, but I don't think it'll be as low as $100 million. But Rob, in an era when we saw, it felt like every single movie coming out was getting more and more expensive. We went in just a couple of short years to hearing that a movie had a $200 million budget and dropping our sodas to like, oh yeah, every big blockbuster film is at least $200 million. It is at least nice seeing these budgets getting reined in a bit. Anyway, you saw these reports. What do you think? Where do you think the budget for this thing is going to come in? Do you think it could be as low as 100 million? What do you think?
Well, it's got Jason Momoa and it's got Millie Alcott in it. And
I hear Jason Momoa demanded $18 million.
Yeah, I heard that too. But you know, you got to get what you
after
can
the
when you
success
can.
of
How
the
you
Wrecking
can.
Crew.
I'm telling you. But I think so. Your cast, your central actress doesn't. She's never proven herself in this way, so you don't have to pay her a bundle. This is a star-making role for her, and I think that there's ways of making great movies without having to break the bank. And like you pointed out, James Gunn certainly knows how to do that. He made Slither and he made Super. By the way, there's a new 4K version of Slither coming out with a great steelbook.
Still my favorite James Gunn movie.
And you can do this. I mean, $100 million isn't chump change. And, you know, I don't know if some of this was shot where they shot Superman, like they were talking about building production facilities there, like in Ohio or wherever they shot it. And so they'd already started to build infrastructure, and there's ways to keep the budget down. And I think, by the way, that's probably a staple of what Peter Safran and James Gunn were expected to do, is keep the budgets. I mean, obviously Superman was there first, so it cost a lot of money. They were setting a lot of stuff up, and I think a lot of the infrastructure they built that was part of their budget was going to later be amortized across the costs of other movies. So it doesn't surprise me that this movie costs less. Did it cost $100 million? I don't know. In this day and age,
that seems like a really low
tough.
number.
I mean, having worked on Superman Returns and knowing it cost twice as much as that 10 or 20 years ago, it's like $100 million movie. But I wouldn't. If there's people that could do it, it would be Peter Safran and it would be James Gunn. I just don't necessarily believe that it was $100 million.
Yeah. I do you agree with me when I say I'm saying 140 to 150 million?
Yeah, that seems
for a budget.
That seems reasonable to me.
Because you do that, and then you do like a $75 million budget. Now you're talking about a movie that needs to make in the $350 million range to break even. That seems reasonable to me for a movie like Supergirl. Anyway.
Yeah, or 100. I mean, even if 125 million, that, you know, something along those lines. It really depends.
This episode is brought to you by Pocket Hose, the world's #1 expandable hose. Guys, I got to tell you, the brand new Pocket Hose Copperhead with Pocket Pivot is absolutely fantastic. First of all, if you've ever dealt with one of those old school hoses, you know exactly how annoying they are. They kink, they crease up at the spigot, and half the times it feels like you're fighting the hose more than actually watering anything. But the Pocket Hose Copperhead has this pocket pivot that swivels 360 degrees so you get full water flow and way more freedom to move around your home and yard with ease. And here's the part I really love. When you're done, it shrinks right back down to pocket size, which makes it ridiculously easy to carry, handle, and store. And after trying the Pocket Hose, I am never going back. I even now pack it with me and bring it in my camper van. It's that versatile and that good. Plus, it's backed with a 10-year warranty, which is awesome. So for a limited time, my listeners and viewers get a free pocket pivot and their 10-pattern sprayer with the purchase of any size of Copperhead hose. Just text Campea to 64,000. That's Campea to 64,000 for your 2 free gifts with purchase. Campea to 64,000. Message and data rates may apply. See terms for details. All right, guys. Question is for you. What do you think about this? There are some reports going around like that are claiming that Supergirl was made for $100 million. It's not impossible, but I don't see that number, and it doesn't come from anything based in fact. But I do see it being a lower end of the scale for big tentpole films, maybe around the $150 million range. I don't know. Whatever you guys think about this, jump down into the comments section below and let us know your thoughts. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching this video. Make sure you like the video, leave a comment, and subscribe to our channel. And don't forget, we have a daily podcast called the John Campea Show podcast, available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcasting app of choice. Go and subscribe to it today so it'll be there when you need it.